Well, the fans can't wait for you to see you and for you to perform again. But I do know your first time here was 2007, right?
Yes, yes.
Can you walk us through the experience back then and your thoughts that you're coming back here in 2025?
I it's hard to imagine that we're in 2025 from 2007. I can't even, I'm still trying to put that together. Um, but I think, the one thing I remember is that it was a great night. It was a good crowd. But it was so long ago, and it was such a different band that I had in a different time. And so now I'm really looking forward to it because I have really such a good band with me, and it's a really good show. It's a fun show. It's not just the love songs, but it's high energy as well, and it's going to be fun. Everybody's going to have a really good time.
Well, you said it was a while back then, and talking about music right now, you're a genius at it, and they say that music is cyclical. What's your reaction that even the generation of today, cherish your music like it was just put out tomorrow, like yesterday, rather?
I mean, that's amazing. Not a lot of us get to enjoy that, and to still connect with, audiences of every age group. And so that's been my blessing as well. And I, I I never take it for granted. And whenever I see that happen, I always love it, and I feel blessed that even in that position.
Do you do TikTok?
Do I do Tik? I don't do TikTok.
But what's your opinion about hit songs right now? Making it first on TikTok before the charts.
I think that's amazing. I think that it's another outlet. I mean, before you always had to depend on the gatekeepers, which was whatever the label was or whatever particular radio stations they had to break you before you even had a chance. So now you don't need anybody. All you need is talent and uh, and a TikTok or so, and it can happen for you. So it's it's definitely harder today, but at the same time, in some cases, it's it's um, it's easier. It's harder and easier at the same time, and because you don't need everyone, you don't need the gatekeepers to open up that door. You ultimately will need them to blow it up the rest of the way, but initially, to be heard, we were just talking about it. Just work on putting out that right thing, and doesn't even have to be an original song. It can be something that a cover, and if you're doing it really well, then somebody's going to start watching.
So you feel like the internet is a double-edged sword for artists nowadays?
No question. It's
Wow.
it can go against you, but also it can help you in many ways.
Do you find how do you find the style of writing today since you've created the best songs, of timeless hit songs. And right now, there's a certain way, like how kids write their music. What's your
Yeah.
opinion about that?
No, um it's what's expected. Every generation changes, and they hear things a little bit differently and do things differently. The melodies are different, the way they write the lyrics, the feeling behind it. And it's not something that maybe some people can't get to it. I always listen to everything, and I try to stay abreast to and listen to the feeling of it. And I have no issue with it. I think it's great. And it feels good. And that's the bottom line. Does it feel good, And does it speak to you? And for some older people, it just doesn't speak to them at all. But I'm not listening to it for the sake of what it does for my life. I'm listening to it for the musicality of it, and what exactly are they, who are they talking to, and are they reaching them? And obviously that's what's happening. So, I think I listen completely on that basis.
Speaking of, you said that you're listening to everything right now. Is anything sticking to you at the moment?
No, there's so many things that are out, but I think that, and everybody's searching for what's the next. So there's a lot of different music that's coming, it's hard to know what's going to actually stick and what's going to be the next trend of in terms of what you kind of hear a lot of, and that's kind of it's kind of open right now, which I think is great because um, we don't know what's going to come, and so the door is wide open.
Of course, many Filipino fans grew up with your songs and our playlist. Just before I jumped in this link, I was listening to your songs. What's one story from the fans that really touched you that made you realize the impact of your music?
I think it's you don't know the impact of your music until you actually go out and perform live. And that's the moment when you hear everybody out there singing along with you and singing every word that you wrote and that you sung, and they're singing along with you. And some people are singing along with tears in their eyes because it reminds them of someone or some or a time in their life, and whether it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, or something they used to listen to with their mother and or their dad, and so you see the connection there. That's when it happens, is when you realize that you've touched more people than you realize, and
Oh,
that's around the world. So I don't think you can beat that moment, and that's the thing that I enjoy most.
I hope you see that here when you perform. I'm sure you're gonna see it here. Like 1000%, I'm positive about that. But does it also tug your heart when you hear beats so similar to yours that the Gen Z or Gen Alpha produce nowadays? Like, wow.
Oh, yeah, I think that's just it's great. I mean, I was doing the same thing as I was going up, listening to things as, "Ooh, I'm going to write something like that. I'm going to do something like that." So it's nothing but a compliment to me, and I love it in that sense.
I love that. I love that positivity. And of course, we do know you collaborated. Well, as a legend
Yes.
yourself, you collaborated with other legends like Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton, Boys to Men, and of course, who from today's generation are you still interested to collaborate with?
Yeah, I mean, I still collaborate with different artists and stuff. I just did the collaborate with SZA on the song Snooze as well, and we actually got a Grammy for that. And then there's other artists that I'm working on. I won't quite say their names at this point because I don't like to say it unless it comes out. But the blessing for me is that I do hear from younger artists um, that are still working today and still out there doing things, and they still want me to come in the studio with them and write with them, and that's amazing. So um, I've been on the road a lot and just kind of doing a lot of different things, so I haven't been in the studio as much, but I'm looking forward to kind of getting back in the studio once I kind of get a tour done.
If you have any, of course, words of wisdom for artists right now to appreciate where they are at, what would it be?
It's always the same thing over the years in terms of working on your craft and being honest with yourself and um, not having too much of an ego, and um, so that you can always learn and listen to other people and learn from it as well, and collaborate with other people so that you can better yourself. Um, I'm big on collaboration because I think collaborating with people gives you other ideas and gives you a chance to grow and not just be stuck on what you think. There's always those times where you have an artist that is just that, and those are different cases. But for the most part, I like to see artists reach out and collaborate with each other, and because that's the best chance of growing.
Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Taking it to heart, even, we're in the journalist side of the world. But yeah, thank you so much. And congratulations on your concert. We can't wait to see you perform in the Philippines. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
You appreciate it.
Thank you.